In the present video, we will discuss the example problem on least cost method to find the initial basic feasible solution. Let's see the problem. Use least cost method to find the initial basic feasible solution to the transportation problem using data of example. Here given the three supply centers S1, S2, S3 and four demand centers D1, D2, D3 and D4 along with the various unit cell cost. Let's see the solution. Here total supply is the 14 plus 16 plus 5 which is equal to the 35 and total demand equal to the 6 plus 10 plus 15 plus 4 which is equal to the 35. So total supply equal to the total demand. Then given transportation problem is the balanced transportation problem. Next we have to apply the least cost method to find the initial basic feasible solution. Step 1 is the select the cell with the lowest unit cost in the entire transportation table. In the table, lowest unit cost is the 1 for the S1 row and D3 column. So we have to select the S1 row and D3 column cell. Next we have to allocate the maximum feasible quantity to this cell. Then for this one I have to observe the supply and demand. Here supply is the 14 and demand is the 15. So now we have to allocate the maximum possibility of the quantity. So maximum possible allocation is the quantity 14. So we have to allocate the 14 in this cell. Then we have to subtract the 14 from the supply as well as the demand. Then supply will become the 14 minus 14 which is equal to the 0. Demand will become the 15 minus 1 which is equal to the 1. So next we have to remove the 0 value of the cell or column. Here 0 is for the S1 row. So we have to remove the S1 row. Next we have to repeat the same procedure until the table is removed. Next lowest cost is the 2 for the S2 row and D3 column cell as well as for the S3 row and D4 column cell also value is the 2. But here I have to select the only one cell. So randomly I have to select the any one cell. Here we are selecting the least cost cell is the 2 for the S2 row and D3 column. So next we have to allocate the maximum feasible quantity to this cell. For this one I have to observe the supply as well as the demand. So here supply is the 16 and demand is the 1. So among the 16 and 1, maximum possibility of the allocation is the 1 only. So then we have to allocate the 1 in this cell. Then subtract the 1 from the supply as well as the demand. Then supply will become the 16 minus 1 which is equal to the 15. And demand will become the 1 minus 1 which is equal to the 0. So next we have to remove the 0 value of the row or column. Here 0 value is for the D3 column. Then we have to remove this D3 column. So next to least cost in the entire table is the 2 for the S3 row and D4 column. So I have to select the S3 row and D4 column cell. Then we have to allocate the maximum feasible quantity to this cell. For this one I have to observe the supply as well as the demand. Here supply is the 5 and demand is the 4. So maximum possibility of the allocation to the cell is the 4. So I have to allocate the 4 in this cell. Then subtract the 4 from the supply as well as demand. then supply will become the 5 minus 4 equal to the 1 and demand will become the 4 minus 4 which is equal to the 0. Then remove the 0 value of the row or column here. 0 is for the D4 column, then we have to remove the D4 column. So next we have to select the least cost in the entire table. Here least cost is the 3 for the S3 row and D2 column cell. Next we have to allocate the maximum feasible quantity to this cell. For this one I have to observe the supply as well as the demand. Supply is the 1 and demand is the 10. So among the 1 and 10, maximum possibility of the allocation is quantity 1. So allocate the quantity 1 in this cell. Then subtract the 1 from the supply as well as the demand. Then supply will become the 1 minus 1 equal to the 0. Then demand will become the 10 minus 1 which is equal to the 9. Next we have to remove the 0 value of the row or column. Here 0 is for the S3 row. So I have to remove the S3 row. Next we have to select the lowest cost in this cell. Here lowest cost is the 8 for the S2 row and D1 column. Next we have to allocate the maximum possible feasible quantity to this cell. For this one I have to observe the supply and demand. So supply is the 15 and demand is the 6. So maximum possibility of the allocation among the 15 and 6. So 6 is the maximum possibility of the allocation. So I have to allocate the 6 to this cell. Then subtract the 6 from the supply as well as the demand. Then supply will become the 15 minus 6 which is equal to the 9. And demand will become the 6 minus 6 which is equal to the 0. Then remove the 0 value of the row or column. Here 0 is for the D1 column. So I have to remove the D1 column. So next here remaining the only one cell, that is the S2 row and D2 column. So I have to select this cell and observe the supply as well as the demand. So supply and demand both are the 9. So I have to allocate the quantity 9 here. Then I have to subtract this 9 from the supply as well as the demand. Then supply as well as the demand both will get the 0. Then the entire table is removed. Now entire transportation table is removed. Then we have to calculate the total transportation cost of the initial solution by least cost method, which is equal to the 1 into 14 plus 8 into 6 plus 9 into 9 plus 2 into 1 plus 3 into 1 plus 2 into 4, which is equal to the 156. So this is the solution, and thank you.